Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you everybody for joining us. I know it's been a long day and the weather was beautiful outside. So and I can tell there's a post lunch lull. I'll introduce myself. I'm Huzefa Kagalwala. I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I have with me, this is our fitness team. Dr. Murtaza Diwan, he's an anesthesiologist, an avid workout athlete. And we have Muneera bin Hamid, who is a personal trainer. She leads a lot of the Pilates classes. Some of the Beno might have been to her classes in the past. So we'll be talking about health and fitness, and especially how it kind of pertains to Apnama, Borama, with kind of a low prevalence of exercise and less emphasis on exercise. So I hope you guys like our presentation. Let's get started. So I know I can tell everybody's a little, lethargic right now. So why don't we have you guys kind of start and do some squats to kind of change things up a little bit, right? So just slide your chairs back, everybody, please. Yeah.
This is not going to be just a sit down.
Yes, we'll make it very interactive. And during our presentation, please feel free to raise hand, ask questions. Let's have a discussion and really kind of enjoy the session and wake ourselves up, right? So, Diwan, you want to just show them kind of?
I got to do it too, I thought.
Yeah, everybody's going to do it.
So, option to use the chair if you want.
Yep.
You don't have to do a squat without the chair. In fact, you can do it in front of the chair. So, literally, we're just going to sit and stand. All right? 10 times. Ready?
10 times, yes. And we'll kind of tell you the reasons why we're doing it as the presentation goes on. So, ready, set, go. One, chalo, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. All right. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, now put 200 pounds.
All right.
Okay, so I'm Murtaza Diwan. I am an anesthesiologist and intensivist at the University of Michigan. I was drawn to kind of fitness and health probably like 10, 15 years ago I started. I was actually pre-diabetic at that point and kind of was like, oh, I need to do something. So started working out, and now I really got into it. So, kind of the same physiology and stuff that gets me interested in anesthesia and critical care. I've gotten deep into that game with fitness. And so that's kind of my background on why I enjoy fitness and why I'm here. Maulana Duasi, and by using his teachings as a compass, we find that health and fitness is very important in our deen culture and how we care for one another. But in our South Asian community, we have metabolic syndrome, diabetes, hypertension. We all went to a lecture this morning, very predominant. It's compounded by our cultural dietary patterns, and then, just busy life, right? Up in the Kampa, Javanu, gotta go family schedules and everything like that. It makes everything very stressful, and it's hard. One thing I often do is I ask people, so, how long do you want to live? How long, right? Kitla hour, that's not. How long it takes. Just say a number. 90 years. Kuda kare timer. So, I heard someone say as long as you're doing well, right? So, I hear different things. मैं तो 110 वाला study. Some people are like, that's about 60, 70. And I'm like, Auntie, I'm at 68 years old, so like. But the reality is that we want a good life, right? We don't want to be debilitated. We don't want, we see older, 90, 95-year-old people bedbound in a home. We don't want to live like that, right? That's the thing. So that's health span. And so how many years you live really optimizing your health without the morbidity, without all of that. And I like to think about it like, mane sukar uche when I'm 80 years old, right? I want to be able to play catch with my grandchildren. I want to be able to go for a hike. I like traveling. I want to go on a plane. I want to put the bag myself. I don't want, I don't want to ask somebody, hey, can you put that bag for me? I want to grab my children, right? It's a goblet squat, right? That's what I want. So that's how I look at this. But then the data is startling. 70% of 70-year-olds can't get up off the floor. They can't, right? And then there's a orthopedic surgeon, but hip fractures, right? If you're 65 and you get a hip fracture, 50% mortality after a year. And those other 50%, I mean, I don't think they're like thriving, right? They're not running a marathon. It's a hard life. So this is what brings us to our little talk. And what I think is how we need to think about this aspect of our life is how we could fundamentally change how we age. So not just add years to our life, but add good quality years, vibrant years. And that's the essence of longevity training. And it's an approach that goes beyond exercise and really expands this health span. So we have time and energy for travel, ibadat, khidmat karwani, to spend time with our kids, grandkids, go to school activities, go to sports activities, spend time with our family, friends, and do all of that stuff. And so that's health span. So longevity becomes health span versus lifespan. Lifespan is just the years of life. They could be horrible in their last 15, 20 years, and health span narrows that gap, right? That is the amount of time you live without that debilitated life, that you're vibrant, what you think about. So I told you what I want to do, but you can think about it as we talk on what do you want that to look like, and so that's a big part of what we're doing. So there are multiple aspects of this, and we're going to go into a few of them. So there's cardio, and I'm going to talk about that. There's muscle strength, mobility. The fourth pillar is really nutrition and recovery, very important, and there have been talks about this. We're going to briefly talk about that, but you need nutrition and recovery to repair, fuel and repair, and then, so without that, your body can't build the muscle, repair the tissue. It can't produce the energy you need to do the things you want to do. And so, so that's all important. We're not going to touch on that too much, but there have been other talks on that. Then another one, a big one, mental health, emotional health, right? That decreased health span too. We think about the physical stuff, but emotionally, dementia, and then also just being depressed, it all decreases your health span. So these are some of the things that we won't be able to talk about. We're going to focus on the exercise aspects, but that's also important. So when I think about exercise, I think about a lot of the natural experiments that have gone on. So a natural experiment is basically two groups of people who are very similar, and then they're exposed to one different thing. So there's the London Transport Study that looks at conductors. So conductors walk up and down, checking the tickets, right? They get all this physical activity. And then there's the drivers, the drivers of the train or whatever. They don't get that activity. There was a huge difference in cardiovascular and all-cause mortality between those two groups. And there's nothing to think that, because they are conductors that they do anything different. No, they're both the same cohort of people, but with different jobs, and one that emphasized the exercise. So that was a huge thing. There's all sorts of data like this. There's another one with telephone conductors or telephone operators. So those in call centers had increased cardiovascular risk as opposed to people in similar cohorts who went to the had mobile jobs. So those are some of the data. And the exercise data, because of these natural experiments, are so much more profound. Diet is, obviously you should eat healthy, but it's hard to narrow down. So vegetarians, better cardiovascular profile, right? Decreased risk. But vegetarians are usually people who also do other things. So there's they exercise. I've never met a vegetarian that smokes or anything. I don't know. But so those people, there's a lot of confounding factors with that. So I think the exercise data is just that much more profound. So, can't hear me? So cardiovascular exercise is kind of the cornerstone of the heart and circulatory health, but its benefits for like longevity go much further. So regular aerobic work will increase how we use oxygen. It's essentially VO2 max, and I'm like obsessed about VO2 max. It's the amount of oxygen that your body can use per minute of exercise. The increased VO2 max it's one of the strongest predictors of life and decreases all-cause mortality. So essentially, it's how you take oxygen from the air into your lungs, into your bloodstream, so diffusion into your bloodstream, then your heart pumps it into the muscle, and then your muscle provides the energy, and you can do your whatever process you're trying to do. So that's essentially that. And as you move faster and faster, you use more and more oxygen, and then eventually it plateaus at a point where you can't use any more oxygen, and that's the VO2 max. It's basically the physiologic limitation of aerobic exercise. So that's one aspect of things, and then the exercise and cardio in general supports the brain. It increases brain-derived neurotropic factor, so that's a protein that's crucial for growth, survival, and function of neurons. It battles chronic disease. You know, we know, and we were at a lecture today that showed that it helps decrease blood sugar, helps insulin sensitivity, decreases your blood pressure, and really provides a lot of improvement in endothelial function as well. So your vasculature is improved. And of course, mental and emotional wellness. You know, my wife, Mariam, will be like, if she knows when I haven't gone out and exercised, because she'll be like, you're like driving me nuts right now. And so she'll be like, just go, do whatever you have to do and then come back. So, you know, that's key as well. We'll talk about this a little bit more. The key is like big emphasis on what you have to do. A lot of training is zone 2 training. So zone 2 training is essentially, it's a heart rate zone. And so your maximum heart rate people can normally achieve is something like 220 minus your age. And this varies from people to people. This is like the max, so you know, you're going all out, zone 4, zone 5. In zone 2 is about 60% of that. It's usually like a conversational pace, and we'll go a little bit more into that. But so a little bit more about VO2 max. So going back to that, so VO2 max, normally people can use like 3.5 cc per kilogram per minute. Untrained people, when they exercise, that goes up tenfold to like 35. If you exercise a little bit, you can get 10 to 20% more. Then if you exercise a lot, you can double that. And the higher your VO2 max is, the lower your all-cause mortality is. And this relationship does not plateau. So, you know, a lot of things are like, you can go as much as you want, and then you do. The higher your VO2 max, the better for more all-cause mortality. So if you look at it, that top 2.5% of VO2 max and the bottom 25%, it's a 5-fold increase in mortality. So the top 2.5 versus the lower 25%, 5-fold increase in mortality. So it's pretty significant. And this is some other data. Most of this data talks about, you know, better, the higher your VO2 max is, the lower coronary artery disease, CHF, and decrease in hospitalizations. And I won't go into the exact studies, but that's the essence of that. So, but it's one of the most very well studied metrics. It's why I'm so obsessed about it, and it's something I use on a, you know, training for anything. I use this a lot.
How do you measure that?
That's a good question. I will tell you in a little bit. Escape. Uh-oh. Top right? All right. So I'll get back to your question in the next slide. One thing I wanted to talk about, so multiple data sets with VO2 max in South Asians. And so South Asians, multiple studies have 0.8 less VO2 max than white or African Americans. Key insight into this study, so this is actually children, so keep that in mind. South Asian children, so bachao, have lower VO2 maxes. And so, and there was 78% of that gap disappears if you adjust for physical activity. So what it's saying is that our kids, South Asian kids, are not active, and it's decreasing their VO2 max, and it can cause cardiovascular problems later in life. Now think about that, right? Apna bacha ho, if something happens to our kids, how do we feel, right? It's heartbreaking. And now we're putting our kids at increased risk. And these are the same kids that then grow up, right? They will grow up, they'll be 30, they'll be 40, they're busy at work, they're not doing activity, and then at 50, they're sitting on a chair doing namaz, right? They're sitting on a chair eating, and that's a problem. And this is even a bigger problem for women. So girls have an higher decrease in VO2 max, and it's tough for them. And our community as a whole has made a big difference, right? My son Hamza he's like, Abba, when can I play in BBA? When can I play in the soccer tournament? They're excited about this stuff. My daughter Lamia doesn't have that same motivation. Like, mesukar is like, I don't know, what am I gonna do? So I think it's something that we just need to think about as a community, as individuals in our family, and as we go back to our jamaats on how we could incorporate our children as well as the whole spectrum of age, but an emphasis on our children. Do we add this to madrasa? What are things that we can do to help our kids get better? Because they're our kids. It's a big thing. Now, for the question about measuring VO2 max. So this is just a chart on, age and then what poor, fair, average, good, and excellent is. Now, how many of you guys have an Apple Watch, Garmin watch, something? Okay. So can you open up your phones? Apple Watch has a health app. How many people know how to check your VO2 max? Right? So open up the Apple Watch, and it's this heart, and then it's called cardio fitness. And then in the Garmin, it's the Connect app, and it's just in the metrics there. Has anyone found it? You found it? Alifia Ben? What's your VO2 max?
34%.
Look at the chart. The Maruche? So it's, I think often, if you haven't logged exercise, it won't even calculate it. See, health data. And Tamaru nahi hoy, because you have the heart rate variability. So, yeah. But because tamai exercise log na kari hoy, so maybe it might not be there. Anyone else find it? What? You look it on your phone. It's on the phone. Yeah. Like if you.
Even if I exercise, it doesn't show. I exercise regularly.
So it's here.
Heart rate.
I'll help you find it later.
That's fine.
I'll help you find it later. Did you found it? You have a Garmin, right? 46 is pretty good. Apple, Garmin, they all have it. Fitbit has it. Yeah, Fitbit has it. It's cardio, but I can. Let me show you afterwards, so it doesn't. Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't have it on me.
Yeah.
My watch.
I think this is just something else. I can help afterwards. What? VO2 max. What? Yeah, Salman's gonna be. What is yours? Oh, that's lower than mine. Okay, so. Yeah. Okay. So is that how Apple works? So you have to. We can help you a little bit later on how to get it, and I can show you guys on the phone. But it's a good way to look at it. Huh? Cardio fitness, yeah. You have no data, so I think, Alefia Ben, can you help people if later on? It will help. Yeah, we'll do it later. So, is it under respiratory? Okay. Tamaru Sifina, your number. I know, I saw it. That's impressive. Salman's 51. But okay, so now that we talked about VO2 max, and I can help anyone afterwards, we're going to talk about resting heart rate recovery. So basically the autonomic nervous system will, maintains homeostasis, right? Heart rate, blood pressure. Parasympathetic, majorly the vagus nerve, will decrease heart rate, decrease blood pressure, and then sympathetic increases blood pressure, increases heart rate, especially during like exercise and stuff. So the higher vagal tone you have than parasympathetic you have, the better. So this allows you to have a lower resting heart rate and also allows you to bring your heart rate down fast. So we are going to just do a quick get up, but what's out? You guys have a watch? We okay with that? Yeah, we're okay with that. Everyone have a watch, right? Like a heart rate watch, not a regular watch.
I can do math. I can use my thing.
Okay. So what I want you guys to do is look at your heart rate, and let's jog in place, okay? And go fast. Come on. Look at Huzefa, like fast. Feet, knee ups, up, down. Come on. Safety by. What that intensity, Apple. Good. Keep on going. Is anyone's heart rate up a little bit? Good. Salman, what's your heart rate at? Come on. Okay, chalo, jarak bago. Just jarak bago. Yeah. Okay. Taki guy, jarak. No? Not even a minute? Man, some of these people look like it's been hours. They just had lunch. Jarak ek kilo popsicle hazam the jase. At least a minute?
You can feel your heart rate, you can take your pulse.
Yeah, it's okay. No, you can still do it. And then you can just check your pulse afterwards. Okay. Stop. Sit down. See what your heart rate is right now. And let's sit down. Relax for a little bit. And so now that was our sympathetic system, right? Over 100?
110. Now see how quickly it comes back
Yeah.
down. You have
So-
to have a watch or take your pulse. See how quickly it's coming back down.
Yeah,
That's one indication of your cardio health.
exactly.
Quicker it comes down, the healthier you are. If you're still wheezing 2 minutes from now, then that's also telling you something.
Yeah. So yeah, essentially parasympathetic tone, right? So the more you exercise, the more you build up your parasympathetic tone. So you have that decreased resting heart rate, and then when you do exercise and you get your heart rate up, you get it down faster, and that's a good sign. And if that doesn't happen, so this study by Cole, after a minute, if your heart rate doesn't improve by 12 beats per minute, you have a higher mortality. But I think it's been a little bit higher than a minute now. So check. What is your heart rate? Like, has it gone down significantly? Has it not? And that's a big sign of thing. We can talk later about the repercussions of that. Yeah, well, we'll talk. So, quick thing on BMI. BMI is simple math, right? Weight in kilograms over height in meters squared. It was created, I like to think about how it was created to realize how bad the metric is. So this guy, Adolf quit diet. He's a statistician, not a physician, not anything in healthcare. He made this to describe the average man. It was not a clinical diagnosis. He used it for stats and didn't, it was like a white European male. He didn't take into consideration South Asians, females, anything. And we use this metric a lot. So really the bottom line is BMI is not a good standard. We touched upon that during the talk earlier this morning, but you want to put an emphasis on other stuff: waist circumference, waist to hip ratio, other body composition markers, and metabolic markers are a better gauge of what you're doing, which they did a great job this morning on. So essentially, now taking this all, how do you improve your VO2 max, right? Like if that is the thing that has shown to help longevity, how do you improve it? And it seems counterintuitive, but zone 2 training is the majority of training that you should be doing. And what that means is it's chill. It's like running at a slow pace where you can talk to your friend. It's exercising on a bike, just watching TV. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Netflix zone.
Yeah, Netflix zone. I'm not gonna lie. I go for a run on zone 2 days. I'll take a meeting and stuff like that. You don't have to. It's not like you're not huffing and puffing, right? And you can. A lot of people tell me, oh, I go for a run and I can't get to that pace. Then you need to walk. Do inclined walks, do something else. There's a lot, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can swim, you can go on an elliptical. There's a lot of ways to get this zone 2 training, and honestly, zone 2 training is the most important thing. It builds this base. So it builds an aerobic base. It makes mitochondria more efficient, more dense, and so that you can increase your VO2 max when you want. So adding intensity then, so let's say you're starting off. Like, I don't do anything. Where do you start off? Start zone 2, start inclined walks, start something like that, and then work your way up. And then you add intensity. So you add interval training. You add one time a week to max 2 times a week. Nobody needs to go more than that. And these are high intensity sessions. So your heart rate gets up, zone 4, zone 5. People do different types of intensity training. So you can do 4x4, so 4 minutes on, 4 minutes off. I like doing these 800 and 400s. You go 800 at 5K speed, then you do 400s at just like jogging or even walking. People like doing HIIT, re-HIIT. Those are other options. Re-HIIT is basically a shortened amount of HIIT. It's like a cappuccino. If your HIIT is coffee, re-HIIT is cappuccino. You have 10 minutes. You did a weight workout. You do quick, like 2-3 intervals, and mix them in, and you get at least something. There's other, like the strength training, like Orange Theory type, and all of that. Those are great as well. It's better than. They're really good. The only thing is that if you want to purely get your VO2 max up, like real intervals, sprinting, on the bike, with the Peloton, whatever it is more effective, because then your muscle training is also as effective as a standalone thing. And so essentially that's what I got. And then, of course, strength and movement is of utmost importance, and at least 2 to 3 days of strength training, and that's where I'm going to give it to Huzefa to kind of take over from the strength training standpoint. If you have any, we can talk later about it.
All right. Is everybody ready to get up again? Yes. Let's do it, everybody. Let's stand up. Let's do 10 more squats. Ready? You can touch your buttocks right to the chair, or you can just next to the chair, you can hold the chair. Just let's go down and up. 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Great job, everybody. So, Seifi is a cardio guy. He loves to run. He'll run 15 miles, just wake up and run 15 miles. And I love to go to the gym and strength train. So I wanted to just really talk about, just to bring back to our community, why muscle is your longevity organ. Obviously, we have a high prevalence of diabetes in our Jamaat, in our community, right? But bringing it back to, I don't think, we're under-muscled. We don't actually give that much emphasis to strength training, putting our bodies under stress and building muscle, right? Your bodies are made of 40 to 50% of your organ mass is your muscle, is muscle mass in your body. So muscle regulates your metabolism, right? It's actually draws sugar out of your bloodstream, right? And it improves insulin sensitivity. So the muscle acts like a sponge, pulling sugar out of your bloodstream, and like we said, better insulin sensitivity. Muscle is also your anti-inflammatory shield, right? When you exercise, you're releasing this chemical called myokines, which essentially go to your brain and help your hypothalamus and your hippocampus. So not just do you have physical benefits of exercising, building muscle, but you actually have cognitive benefits too, right? Which is great for all age groups. If I have a child who's studying hard, who's doing HIVs, or they're just in med school or they're high school, have them move, right? Have them move and then study. You'll see a huge difference because those chemicals going into the hippocampus is actually expanding the hippocampus. It's actually improving their memory, improving their retention. When you're exercising, when you're walking, when you're running, you're creating this biofeedback loop where your cerebellum is getting stronger, your balance is improving, your gait patterns are improving, essentially lowering your risk of dementia as you get older. The better your gait is, the lower the risk of your dementia. We should really kind of look out for the buzurg in our community, and you see when you start seeing gait changes, that's going to precede memory changes as well. Like Dr. Diwan was saying, when you exercise, when you're lifting, when you have to put your body under stress 2 to 3 times a week, because what that's going to do is going to increase cortisol, right, which is not good for your body, but then it's going to decrease that cortisol level significantly because your body's getting used to having high cortisol, but then decreasing your cortisol level, so you can better manage your day-to-day stresses. Also, what I want to get to is the hypothalamus part is when you lift, when you're working out, when you're exercising, you're actually releasing testosterone for men, right? We're increasing testosterone in our body. As you're getting older, your testosterone is going down significantly. So more free testosterone in your body. More growth hormones are being released in your body. Better estrogen management for females, especially when you go under perimenopause, postmenopause. You have more estrogen that's being kept in your bloodstream when you're working out. What are some signs of unhealthy muscle mass? So if your body fat is greater than 30%, high fasting blood sugar, right, elevated blood pressure, your sedentary lifestyle, right, which over the years, post-COVID, we have become sedentary because so many things can be work from home for many individuals, right? High visceral fat content. So many times we kind of look at, somebody that's obese is under-muscled. Well, many times in our South Asian community, we have high visceral fat content, we're skinny, but we're also very under-muscled, right? We don't have enough muscle mass. And then any metabolic syndrome is a sign of decreased muscle mass in your body. So like a muscle needs to be stimulated, contracted. You have to perform resistance training to build muscle. So I'll just go right to, with our time limit, I'll go right to sarcopenia. Sarcopenia obviously speeds up as we are aging in our 40s and 50s. But a lot of studies that I've read and a lot of things have shown that sarcopenia can start as early as your teenage years. If you're sedentary, you're losing muscle, you're not building muscle. And then quadricep and grip strength. So the reason we had you guys do squats is when you're squatting, you're building quadricep strength, right? So every hour that you do 10 squats is equivalent to walking 1,000 steps. So how many people here walk about 10,000 steps a day? Can you give me a raise of hand? maybe I kind of see maybe 10 people, 5, 10 people, right? You know, I get it. We're busy. We're on our computers. We're patient care. We're home. Then we're again with our kids, with our families. If you just get up every hour and do 10 squats, that's equivalent to walking 10,000 steps a day, right? What if you just add in another 2 hours and do 12,000, right? So you get 12,000 steps, meaning just, you know, 12 hours, 10 hours, do 10 squats every hour, which is doable. We just did 2,000. We just did about 2,000 steps because we did what? We did 20 squats. So I think we can have excuses or we can actually have solutions, and we can take action as a community, right? Before you're going, when we're in the masjids, when we're meeting, you know, during mikats, you know, do 10 squats right before you sit down, right? When you get up, maybe you can just, you know, find an area, maybe as Murdo we could do 5, 10 squats and kind of really kind of stimulate that blood flow in our legs and build strength.
I have a picture of Muneera playing while waiting in the Kagalwala line, squatting all the way.
Yes.
Even surgeons can't have an excuse. You can be scrubbed in and still do squats.
And that was in Kandala. So you can do it there, you can do it anywhere.
Yes. That's a great question, right? So I would say focus on big muscle groups, right? Like your legs, your quadriceps, your hamstrings, your glutes. Another day you can work on your abdominals, right? We tend to have a very flexed posture because gravity, as you age, is constantly bringing you down. So working on abdominal muscles are on second day. Third day, working on your chest and shoulders, and then coming back on your fourth day to legs. But honestly, even if you strength train 2 to 3 times a week, that is plenty. You can do multiple muscle groups a day, 2 to 3 times a week, and that should be plenty. I understand we don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. We have so many commitments, life, religion, family. But just working out 2 to 3 times a week is plenty for us to, even 30 minutes a day, right? So I think in the diabetes talk, there was talk about, about high intensive training for about 75 minutes. So 3 30-minute sessions a week, that's 90 minutes right there. That'll get you what you need to get for best benefits for your body. We've gone over many reasons why to strength train, so I'm going to have you guys get up again and do some calf raises. All right? So your calf muscle is the second heart of your body. Go right up on your toes.
I do this
Right.
all the time. Every time
This
I get up from my
venous sufficiency, you're pumping blood back up to your heart, back up to your brain, reducing any swelling in your legs. This is a great balance exercise. You're stimulating neurons, right? Your cerebellum, your balance center. Did we yes, right. A little yes. Ankle mobility.
Very important for Betul Khala.
Yes.
Very important. Don't forget the little muscles.
Yes. Great job, everybody. Let's have a seat. So, like I talked about earlier, focus on large muscle groups, your legs, your back, your abdominals, your chest, 2 to 3 times a week. We have some videos of kind of the main exercises you guys should perform. We're happy to share the slides with you, and that way you can kind of look back at the form of doing squats, lunges, and how to do them. Let me get right to those videos. All right, I just want to have a quick, we'll go to the videos about all the different exercises, but I just want to talk about, I know there's a huge push just in America, in the world, because we have our smartwatches with regards to steps that we take. If you're taking under 4,000 steps a day, if you check your phone or your Apple Watch, you're pretty much sedentary. That's just basic minimum walking that is day to day. You're not putting any more effort than you should. When you take 6,000 steps, you will see your mood and circulation is going to improve in your legs. Your mood is going to be much better. If there's brain fog, there's fatigue. There's going to be much less brain fog and fatigue. When you take 7,000 to 8,000 steps, there's a 50% reduction in all-cause mortality Your brain is starting to wake up. The more you're walking, the more you're feeling awake. 10,000 steps, the reason is, that's kind of the baseline number for most individuals, is because you're improving your cardiovascular health. You have 50% lower risk of dementia, and your muscles of bone are now starting to become stronger. You're kind of improving bone density. And then 12,000 plus steps is where you have max brain function, right? You're kind of getting to a point where you're starting to lose some visceral fat, and 65% reduction in all-cause mortality. How do I play?
Well, we could send the videos later.
Will it play? Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean we could, so we did a bunch of squats, right? So the biggest thing I say, you want to really work on your quads, right? And your glutes. So you're really driving your hip back and you're squatting down. You're touching the chair, you're driving back up with force. It shouldn't be slow. If you can do it fast, you want to drive up with force. So you're squatting down, you're driving up with force. Can we all do it together? What do you guys say? Right? And any of the Bains or Bhais who can, you can kind of hold the chair, put that chair in front of you, or hold the table in front of you down, and let's drive up. Yeah, and when you come up, you want to kind of extend your spine a little bit. You want to come up because, like I was saying earlier, we're constantly flexed, right? Gravity's pulling us down. That's where your back pain is starting. That's where your weakness in your legs is starting. Go down and drive up. Correct. Yeah, these are half squats, but so full squats is also great. And then I want to kind of bring it back to how Mola has a huge push on Eastern toilets. And there's a scientific reason behind it, right? Most people are not able to do a full squat, right? Like I'm literally just going all the way down and sitting down. That is the best thing for mobility for your ankles, your knees, your hips, your lower back, your pelvis. And when you kind of look back, why is Mola pushing for these Eastern toilets? Because it is keeping the mobility that you have intact, right, for a long period of time. Most people in America cannot do a full squat, but if I go to India, everybody can. Why? Because that's their that's what they have to use for day-to-day lifestyle, right? So doing a full squat is half squat is great, right? But if you can do a full squat, do a full squat. Go all the way down and drive right back up. The next one we had was a lunge. Oh, push-up, okay. Maybe we'll hold off on the push-up. We can hold off on the push-up. We'll do yeah. Dr. Saifi is all about doing push-ups. All right, I'll have Muneera kind of talk about health concerns for women.
Hi. What? Leave now. All of you have wives and daughters. There's no reason for the men to leave. Should be a two-way street. They take care of you, you take care of them. All right, women's health concerns. Mainly, more so than men's, women, apnama, don't really exercise or play sports as much as men do. Men have a more natural tendency, they'll go football, cricket, they'll go play basketball. It's easier for them to take the time out for their fitness than it is for us to take the time out for our fitness, mostly because home and children. So that's why there's a lot more, more emphasis on women exercising. Hamna mola mapan every wise ma varzish nu kevai che. We've been going for the last 2 years. Hame loko jamia ma je che farzandone, and now the jamias, they have a gym, time and place for their talibat to work out, and they're so happy. But chao itla khush che, because always, the talibat would go out and play sports and dikriyo waste kai nati. So starting mola itlu khayal rakhe che atla nana farzandoti, the emphasis is there that this is your life thing. This is what we have to do. So now we have to, even though for a lot of people it's not a part of your life, you now have to bring it in. Tamara joine, tamara bachao karse, especially dikriyo. Especially dikriyo. They learn more from the example and seeing you than tame besi ne keso to do it. So anyway, these problems, everybody is aware of it. especially postmenopause, premenopause, osteoporosis. That's one of the biggest thing, especially with women, because of our estrogen level goes down and we don't weight train enough. And weight train is not just weights. Your body is also a weight. You can do everything. We've been doing squats with our own body weight. Nobody was holding any weights. You still felt your muscles in your legs, in your feet, in your ankles. So just weight training is body weight as well as strength training. So those are, the same thing. Low activity levels, diabetes, especially women more so, because the Dikriyo families, having children, that puts a lot of strain on your body, being fit enough for that, and then taking care of them. So women more so should really emphasize strength training. They talked about there's 3 things. There's cardio, talked about that. Strength training, very important. And then there's flexibility and mobility. Those are basically your 3 pillars of fitness. Okay, how many people here walk on a regular basis? Just walk. Okay. How many people strength train somewhat regularly? Less women, more men. Flexibility. Yoga, Pilates, anything. Even less. So you have to think about all 3 components. Think about it like you would your diet. Salad is the healthiest, right? Nobody is eating salad every day, all day, for the rest of your life. You need to have protein, you need to have fats, you need to have vegetables, everything. It's the same with strength training and exercise. You can't just focus on one thing, chalo chalwa jaye, because it's just easy and convenient. The strength training and the flexibility are part of the component that makes your body complete. Otherwise, you will notice weaknesses. Just like if you don't have a certain nutrition or something, you'll notice, in your body, a weakness. If you don't do all 3 pillars, then you're going to notice a weakness in your strength or flexibility or something. All right, how do I change this? Which one? Oh, this one. All right, benefits, we already went through this now, the same benefits, men, women, strength training, especially bone density. Bone density, very, very important, because after 30, your bone density is kind of at a peak, and then it's just, especially Bairawase, it's just going to go down. You can't stop it going down. What you can do is stop it going down so fast. By strength training, you can kind of keep it a little bit higher, so it goes down a little more slower than just kind of plummeting, especially when you reach perimenopause and then menopause. It's just going to really go down. So the strength training is very important, especially for women as we get older. Cardio, and then again, yoga and Pilates. I will be teaching a Pilates class tomorrow morning, 6:30. I ask you all to come and join. It's just a quick half an hour, maybe 35 minutes class. We'll do some flexibility, some stretching, and it'll be fun. Fitness during religious events. So being Mu'min, there's a lot of times during the year where it's really hard to stay on task. Khas karine Ramzan and then Ashura. Those are like the 2 big events where it's just really hard. So what you're doing essentially is the whole year you're training to make sure that you are fit and healthy for these 2 events. Sherullah, apne ghani ibadat karwani che. The ghani namaz parwani che. You're going to be staying awake at night and stuff. You want to be fit and healthy going into Sherullah so you can last through Sherullah. And khas karine Ashura. Every year I train for Ashura. I get my body strong, I get my body flexible. I have a video which I can share if you're interested. During Sherullah at night, I have a 15-20 minute stretch video for tight hips, hamstrings, and lower back. Because apne besiye che for a long time, and then when you get up, your hips are tight, hamstrings are tight, and pachu next day, you have to sit again. And my husband will tell you, I'll go in the hotel room at night, and I will be on the floor with a towel doing this video. I've been doing it for many years, and just that little flexibility, that little stretching, the next day going back into vise, it doesn't matter how tight you're squeezed and sitting, you will be fine. So just it's making it a conscious point, right? You have to make time. Hasan? Yes. You can do it on the floor. Main ghani waqt palang par karu chhe. Yeah, there's a chair video as well. You can do stretches on a chair. Yes. So, do you have a video to get you from the chair to the floor? That's going to require
everything. The strength training, the flexibility.
It's not that you can't do it, but that will take a lot more different things together to do it. But yes, it is possible. Mara Sasu has had 2 knee surgeries, a haji niche besich. Now, granted, all the time, every time nati besta, but she can still sit and she can still stand up.
You have to have flexibility of your knees.
Yes.
Because before your surgery, if
Yes.
you're unable to sit on the floor for a long time, they say that your muscles are stiff, so it's
Yeah.
not going to happen so quickly. So that's why people who are able to sit before surgery on the floor and now they have surgery, that's easier.
That's true.
People who have been sitting on the chair for long
Yes, that is it.
time, they do surgery,
It's harder. Barabar che. That's why, and that's another thing we're seeing. Maradu and Bairama, everybody is like, kitla bara janat kursi par base. And that's another thing that we're trying to get away from. Yes, we talked about. So just some of the things that we do. Everybody has a different Sherullah routine. I like to do a little workout before iftar because that way you know you're eating right away. I know, okay, Aloko, they prefer, you guys prefer mornings.
I do morning. I like running in the morning before, and then if I can do a quick flexibility or strength training before.
So this last Sherullah, I had started like a very short stretch class, like after Sabak and before Maghrib Namaz, just 10 minute, 15 minute, just to get people moving, just to get your, sore muscles and stuff. So that was kind of going very well. So you can, Sherul Lama, you're going to need to amend your routine. But if you're strong going in, then you're more likely that you're going to sustain something during Sherullah. All right? Supplements.
So I have Alefia in the back yelling at me that time is up.
I know, she's
doing this. So we're going to talk about supplements very quickly and leave a few minutes for questions. So supplements, basically, there's nutrition. That is the mainstay of things. And then supplements are an adjunct to that. And we talk about, obviously diet, so it's important. The protein, creatine, vitamin D. South Asians have a lot of decrease in vitamin D. It decreases immune function. So that is a supplement that, a lot of people take so you can get those levels tested. And supplements work best with exercise and good diet. Spotlight on creatine, because we do want to talk about this. It's probably one of the most well-studied supplements. So basically it goes into your muscles, saturates your muscles, and then if you have ADP, it can turn that into ATP. So it restores ATP quickly so that you're able to do more exercise. And Huzefa, I know you had a little...
And creatine is not only good for your muscles, right, giving you more energy, but it's also great for cognition. So I even have my parents taking creatine, and I've seen their cognition improve over time along with exercise just because they're having more energy in their brain, right? So creatine is not just good for your muscles. If you're exercising every day, every few days, you should be taking creatine. It can be part of your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be. We produce natural creatine. Red meat has creatine as well. So if you like to eat red meat, you're getting sufficient creatine. But usually with our diets, we're not getting enough creatine in our body. We're not getting enough proteins. I don't want to get too much into it, but our thali food, our foods generally tend to be starch heavy, carb heavy. So please add protein to your diet. Add some creatine as a supplement, and you'll see a lot of physiological, a lot of great changes in your body.
And around 5 grams of creatine is like what supplement we should take. And normally 1 pound of red meat has 2 grams?
2 grams of protein, yep.
So that's just your framework. So, you can eat 2.5 pounds of red meat every day.
Yeah.
We don't want to get into that. But so supplementing is a good idea.
And just, again, this is more about protein. We'll make it quick. Just the biggest takeaway from this is, if you're going to make working out, running, walking, weightlifting as part of your lifestyle, taking about 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per body weight. So if you weigh 120 pounds, try to get about 100 to 120 grams of protein per day. It is possible. I know it sounds like, oh, that's a lot of protein, but some adjustments to your diet, and you can definitely hit that number. You'll see significant positive changes in your body when you do start that. When to take your supplements, just simple, that's pretty self-explanatory. With breakfast, take your multivitamins. Before exercise, make sure you're hydrated, right? Electrolytes. Post-exercise is when we want you to take, your protein-heavy diet should be at post-exercise. Creatine or whey protein, which is also a supplement, which anybody can take pretty much from 18 and up. to add more protein to your diet. And at nighttime, magnesium, calcium, and zinc for some deeper sleep. Yes, you have a question? Yes. Not particularly having a calorie deficit, but in terms of just your diet should be more protein heavy. Yeah. You are right, but if you're actually keeping very active, you're strength training, you're trying to really, if you have a lot of physical activity that you're performing, then you should, right, to maintain that muscle mass, to grow your muscle mass.
I think if you want to build muscle,
yeah,
you're gonna have to try to get as much.
But right, that's why I have a 0.8. You could, even if you're a little less, that's okay. It's just making sure, the big takeaway is making sure you're eating sufficient protein throughout the day, right?
I think we're coming from a framework of we don't have much muscle, we're trying to build it. You got
Yes.
it. I think you have to increase it, but you're right. Like maintenance and the reality of things is probably a little bit different.
I mean, your first source should be foods, natural foods to get protein. Your chicken, red meat, Greek yogurt, milk. Yes. You can take whey protein. Whey protein is probably best to take. That will give you amino acids and protein. So just a scoop of whey protein is about 25 grams of protein per serving.
For creatine, if you're taking it, do you have to increase your water intake?
Yes, you should. I mean, ideally your water intake should go up regardless. With creatine, you're going to start absorbing more water, so your muscles kind of fill up with water. And so naturally, you kind of go, you do need to drink a little bit more water, but yeah.
And I think talk to your doctors before you start taking this, because if you have chronic kidney disease, if you have cardiovascular disease, the red meat. So if you're not sure, ask someone who knows more than you do.
The thing with creatine is it's really safe. The chronic kidney disease patients are the ones who really should consult their doctors before they start the supplements.
Yeah, so I have a question on protein powder, because I'm a big advocate for it, but my parents, they think protein powder is, ruining your liver, your gut health, and all those things. So what things should I tell them? Do you recommend that I should tell them that kind of convince them to take protein powder rather than just taking regular food?
So I do think regular food is your best way, right? Nutrition, you cannot do better than nutrition. So chicken, meat, everything like that. But whey protein is safe, and it's supplemented, especially if you're working out. Taking that to an extent is fine.
I think there are vegan and plant-based protein supplements as well. So for us, when we are concerned about halal protein, there is actually a whole company that does halal protein powder. So there is vegan, there is plant-based, as long as you're getting the protein in. But they also have calories. So if you are watching, if you're diabetic and things like that, you make sure you balance this out. I just wanted to make one comment on Sherula. So there are a few of us who definitely exercise during Sherula, right? I do it in the middle of the day because I want to feel the intensity. But what I realized was that the biggest reason why most of us feel like the headache, the fatigue, is because we are generally very dehydrated. It's not so much the glucose store, because we do eat well, generally speaking, but we don't drink enough water. So with the creatine, if you're taking that during Sherula and you're not hydrating to yourself, and we are all physicians and we're all providers, so I'm going to be a little gross. My measurement of am I well hydrated during Sherula is that if I'm not peeing clear urine that looks like water before I go to bed, I'm not hydrated enough. So I'm very conscious about that. And then you exercise, I promise you, you'll feel great. You won't feel that fatigue, that headache, you won't feel that. But the biggest problem I see is people thinking that they have enough water when they haven't drank enough.
she gets a hold of it. If anybody wants halal collagen, if they're looking for that supplement, I don't know what you guys think about that, but she has that she gets a hold of that.
Just one thing about Sharullah exercise. I think people should have realistic expectations. You know, I like to exercise during Sharullah too, but I'll cut back. Like I might do 50% of what I do. Don't go from 100 to 0, but have a realistic expectation. And if you do even something, it's still better than nothing. So that's it. Exactly right.
You want to be strong going in.
Correct.
So that if you lose a little, it's okay. You make it up. Be
Yeah.
strong going in.
Sharullah is a very individualized approach.
And the point is not to stop during Sharullah, right? Just to maintain, because you're going to lose muscle mass when you're fasting. So just to kind of maintain where you're at, 2 to 3 times a week in mobility work and just, yeah. And when you're doing ibadat, you're getting a lot of exercise too, with, where you're praying often. Yes.
Magnesium, I don't really eat magnesium much. Just add.
Yeah, it just, magnesium and zinc together is what you should really kind of use. There's one where you have calcium, magnesium, and zinc all together will give you a great night's sleep.
We have a dietitian who can maybe answer.
Yeah.
Magnesium, glycinate.
Perfect.
Okay.
There you go.
I think, just for the sake of the second presenter, I want to thank Huzefa Bhai, who is a physical therapist. I'm not sure if you guys heard that or not. Murtaza Bhai, who's just a fitness geek. And Muneera Ben, who's our beautiful 30-year-old personal trainer. I wish we could clone her in every Jamaat. But just want to leave you guys on this note कि अपनों inspiration आना वास्ते हतु बुरहानुद्दीन मौला ने सैफुद्दीन मौला ने खाली ये लोगों ने जो है फज्जर से उठे हैं वाज बैठक ज़ियाफ़त पची ज़ियाफ़त यहाँ सी सफ़र वहाँ सी सफ़र अने अपने खाली बैठी ने ठाकी जे है so just kind of keep that in mind okay just to be able to keep up at least with 1% of what Mola does let's take some of this advice put it into action and next year we're doing an azam we'll come back with a 10% higher VO2 max okay. But thank you very much thank you